Hello everyone, and this is BioPhoenix here, and you're watching this on Xanadu Castle. So this is a brand new channel that I made because my main channel is called BioPhoenix, and I review video games and anime, mainly a lot of like the obscure stuff. But the thing is that this channel is going to be all about reading. Yeah, I'm going to be talking about books and manga. So because I feel like if I upload that type of content on my main channel, I don't think many people are gonna watch it, because it's just such a very different medium. So yeah, I decided to just make a whole new channel where I'm just gonna be talking about all that kind of stuff. So yeah, gonna be talking about all kinds of books and manga, like a lot of physical stuff I own, and eventually when I get my own like tablet, I can talk about some fan translated manga stuff. I think that'd be really fun to do. But I think for this very first introduction video, we're gonna talk about a little bit about me and like what got me into reading. So let's just get right to it. Alright, so the first thing I do want to mention about me and reading is that I literally did not really start my reading journey until like 2022, believe it or not. Yeah, so the reason why that is because after I graduated high school, I was just so sick of like reading all these books that they like force you to read, and a lot of the times the books were like really, really crappy and I hated them. So because of that, like it really turned me off from reading a book ever again. Well, not ever again, obviously, but like it really turned me off for like a few years. Like I didn't even want to like look at one. So because of that, yeah, like I just like didn't want anything to do with it, and that's because of the fact that we didn't read any of these like great classic books that everyone always says. They're like, oh yeah, when you're older, when you're in high school, they're gonna make you read that, and you're gonna love it. Like books like Lord of the Flies and such. Because by the time when I got to high school, I think that book was like banned or something, or if it wasn't banned, I think it was like there was a bunch of controversy being like, oh, kids shouldn't be reading that kind of thing. So yeah, that sucked. But the only like two good classic books that we ever read in school, at least in my experience, and wasn't even in high school. It was actually in like middle school, and one of them was The Outsiders, which that's a very well known one. I don't have that book, but I do remember reading that one in school. And the other one is the Giver by Lois Lowry. Yeah. I remember this book being really, really good. It has been such a long ass time since I've read it, so I only remember like the basic stuff that happens in it, and of course like the twist ending and such. But other than that though, I do remember it being really good. I definitely do want to read it again. I think it would be interesting reading this as an adult now. But yeah, that was like probably like the best like book I ever read in school that we like had to fucking read. So yeah, so that's like the one thing I will say is that school, like reading books in school, like the shit that you had to read, yeah, like I just could not stand most of it. Alright, so now that you know that, now you're probably wondering, what was the book that really got you back into like wanting to read again and become addicted? Well, one author that I was always fascinated by, even as a kid, mainly because I watched a lot of movies based after his work, is none other than the one right behind me, and that is Stephen King, which I own a lot of his books. I own mostly hardcovers, because I love hardcovers, but I also do own like a couple paperbacks, but mainly the Dark Tower stuff I have on paperback, because I really love these like old classic covers. And also I own a lot of the hard case crime books on paperback and the Richard Bachman books, and then like different seasons. I know, like this isn't a collection video. I will do a collection video one day where I will like just like ramble on a bunch of shit because I enjoy doing that. But anyways, the first book I ever read from Stephen King, like in recent time when got me back into reading, was The Long Walk, and hot damn, what can I say? This book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. From start to finish, like, I was hooked. Like it is just such a fantastic read. I absolutely loved it. Okay, I know I'm gushing too much, but seriously though, so the reason why I picked this over, like, any other one was because not only was, like, the length, like, good, like, it wasn't, like, too long. I didn't want to start off, like, reading, like, The Stand again, like, as, like, my first one. Because I actually did try reading The Stand, like, when I was a teenager, but it just like it was too much for me at the time. I was too stupid for that. But, now that I'm, like, not as stupid, yeah, I decided to read the Long Walk because not only was because of that, also the concept was interesting, as I do love the whole, like, survival death game concepts. I always thought those were cool. And also, this is one of those books that never got a movie made. So I kind of wanted to read something that, like I said, it never got a movie made, so then I had to, use my imagination for it. And so I thought this was the perfect one. And yeah, like I said, it was definitely an all-time favorite for me. And another author that also helped me rekindle my love for reading was Michael Crichton. I have a couple of his books on hardcover. I do have two of them on paperback, being Jurassic Park and Rising Sun. But yes, these are all like my hardcover ones here. And the very first book I read was in this compilation here. It's Sphere. And yes, Sphere I absolutely loved as well. And the reason I read Sphere first was because, as again, not only is it like one of those books where like I've never seen the movie for it, and so I wanted to read that one first. Because normally I would have went for like Jurassic Park, and I absolutely loved that movie. But I wanted to read something that, like I said, like I knew like didn't know a whole lot about. And the only thing I knew about Sphere was that it was about a sphere that's underwater, and they're like doing research on it. So they had to go into this like underwater facility, and a bunch of shit goes wrong. It's actually a pretty terrifying idea if you really think about it, given how vulnerable you are underwater. But yeah, now like I said, that was the first one I read from him. Like I said, really loved it a lot. I really like how he's able to come up with these crazy like explanations for science stuff, but he does it in a way that's like really easy to understand. It's not like it's going on like 20 pages talking about like nooneroids or some crazy stuff, like something where you need a fucking doctorate to understand. No, like he does a good job with making it easy to understand and digestible in a fun way. So yeah, I really miss him. It's a shame that he died like really young, but man, like I said, his stuff is like really damn good. So yeah, that's pretty much like all I can say for like a basic introductory about all the like the novel stuff that I like. Yeah, my two favorites right now would be Stephen King and Michael Crichton. But obviously, like I like Dean Koontz, I like Dan Simmons, and and there's like I love like the Hannibal books, and like Blake Crouch, amazing. There's a lot of other authors that are on here that I would love to read that I just haven't gotten to yet. But for now, let's actually talk about some manga stuff. Yeah, so this is my one manga shelf. I do have another one right behind me that is right here. Though this one does have like some other random crap on it too, but but it does have a lot of like extra manga on here. This is mainly like my overflow shelf or ones that I just wanted to fit on here. But yeah, so anyways, as for here though, so one of the first mangas that I ever like really like got heavily deep into recently was 20th Century Boys, and I read the whole thing. And let me tell you, as again, absolutely loved it. I thought it was just amazing stuff. And of course, my very first time experiencing one of Naoki Urasawa's works was actually with Monster, which I have a couple volumes of. But the thing is, I watched the anime for it, and I absolutely loved that too. So when I found out that he had like a lot of other work that never got made into an anime, and this one sounded really fascinating, yeah, it kind of got me like invested in wanting to like get them all and reading through them all, and it was definitely worth it. Honestly, I would do it all over again if I could. It was just so damn good. And the last one that I will mention briefly is Dead Man Wonderland. This is a manga series that I owned the first six of them for a very long time, and the reason why I bought them back then was because I really liked the show, but I really did not like the ending to it, and I've heard from people that like the ending was like, not like the manga at all. In fact, the manga is like not only like way better, but it like even like continues farther and shit, because it was like 'cause the anime they never finished it. So, and because I really loved like the ideas and like all that kind of fun stuff with the show, I wanted to get all the mangas and experience it that way. But it took me a very long time because I bought the first six and then I found volume 8. But volume 7 took me like freaking forever to get. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 I eventually did get in like recent times when I got back into like, like heavy reading stuff. And yeah, and I finally read through the whole thing. I think it was late last year or early this year. I can't remember exactly. It was around like Christmas time or around like winter, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. You know, kind of like what I said about Stephen King's The Long Walk. It's another one of those deaf game show type things. Although I guess this is kind of more similar to The Running Man with Arnold, but you know, obviously without Arnold Schwarzenegger, and of course, you know that movie is not like the book at all, but you know, you get what I mean. It's like one of these like crazy death game shows with these like over the top characters that have like crazy superpowers and all that stuff. And yeah, like I said, absolutely loved it. Like after reading this, I was like, damn, like I can definitely never watch like that original version of the show ever again. Though I do hope they would ever do a remake of it and actually do it faithfully though, because I would be down for that. And alright, so that will be it for this little introduction. I didn't want to make it too long, but yeah, hopefully that will kind of like sum up like, you know, basically who I am and like my whole reading shenanigans. But yeah, I will try to be somewhat active on here. It might be a little bit hard because, you know, like I said, I got a lot of other channels to manage, like my gaming channel, and then I have like an abridged parody channel, which also takes a lot of work. So yeah, I am gonna like try to be active on here. I will try to do some like book discussions. Like I don't know, maybe I might do some book rankings and maybe like I said, I really want to do a collection video and just, you know, ramble on about like everything because, you know, like I said, I really love listening to people like going through like book tours or like bookshelf tours and stuff. I don't know why. There's just something like really like interesting about that I really like. Same thing when it comes to like like when people do like video game collection videos. I just really love it when people talk about all the shit they own. So, anyways, with that being said, thank you for watching, commenting, and have yourselves a great day.